Morning, everyone. This morning, on the eve of almost the end of Women's Month, and the whole world knows that I don't commemorate really Women's Month because there's nothing to commemorate in this country at the rate of violence against women and violence against our children, violence against our bodies, and the president that is still not taking responsibility to come and account to us why he failed us. But this morning is significant. Somebody walked in at our women's center and she brought a donation, but together with this donation there is a story. And the story of Stacey-Lee Philander, who was murdered 20 years ago. Her beloved cousin is here and she's going to tell us this morning why she chose Police Abafazi Women and Family Center to bring a donation from SPA, and we want to say thank you to SPA for supporting this initiative, Grassy Park SPA, for supporting this initiative, but also to support the work that we are doing in terms of gender-based violence and the call to protect all women and children and their families in this country. Why are you here today?
I'm here today to give back on Stacey's anniversary. It's been 20 years and it took me that long to actually get out of the hurt and the sadness and the mourning and it's just time to do things on our own because we're not getting the support that we are supposed to get from like the government, like helping out where help is needed, especially like in the domestic violence organizations like this. So I put it upon myself on my cousin's 20th anniversary of passing. I've decided this is going to be the organization where I'm going to do a little drive and I just drop off a few donations, grocery donations to the women of this organization. I just go into a bit of Stacey's story because Stacey died around the year where social media and the platform for social media was like really a hype to put stories like this out there. So today I'm just going to go back into 20 years ago when one of my cousins ran into my classroom at my high school. In my registration class she ran in and she told me, Lindsay, it's Stacey. There immediately I knew that Stacey was, something bad has happened to Stacey. So prior to Stacey's death, the day she died, she was stalked by a neighbor for 3 years. She was 9 years old when this whole incident happened. He was stalking her, and this person, I'm going to say the name that he was known by was Gums. He was stalking her. She was 9 years old. He used to follow her everywhere with her and her friends, follow to school, to church, to shops, wherever she was going. He was always following her, made sexual remarks to a little girl that was innocent, didn't know of any of these things. And when she turned 13, this horrific day just came upon my family. But with saying that, people are always asking questions like, why didn't we go to the police for interdicts and protection orders and stuff like that? We did. We went to officials, we went to do all of those things. We got the papers that we needed, and then when he was still stalking her, the answer that we got from police officers was, he didn't do anything to her physically, so there's nothing that we can do. And with that, a week later, he decided he's gonna kill Stacey on her way to school. So what he did was, I remember it was a Thursday morning. Stacey walked to school with one of her best friends, and he came out of the bushes and he whacked Stacey with a panga over her head. And the story that we got from the children that was on the way, and he did it in front of kids that was going on the way to school. She was kneeled down and he hit the panga, split her scalp open, because I remember my grandfather went to the scene and he found her fingertips laying on the sand with her hair, and obviously like flesh and stuff laying everywhere. And she was kneeled down on her knees with her hands on her head still. I remember the principal of the school and teachers ran to the scene to commute the children off the scene because the children was traumatized. And not only that, like over the years, those same kids, they have turned out to deal with the situation that they're dealing with now. Their children is using drugs. No counseling has been offered to these children. When I see some of them in the streets, like in the community, the children are, and they always say that is the trauma, that day, that event of that day is the cause of what is happening to them like today. No counseling, no help was given to these kids. And some of those kids were also abused and raped by male in the family and neighbors of this whole incident also that happened. So today we are not, I don't want to really dwell on the events of what happened on that day, but an awareness needs to be made of what families are going through. We are not healing from all of this. I'm just doing this initiatives and giving back because I find healing in giving back to women that's going through, kids that's going through the same. And it's not only for women, it's all around. It's for our sons and our brothers, our uncles, and it's for everyone, this whole gender-based violence thing. But it's also got to do with the help that we're not getting the psychology help that we're supposed to get for the parent, for the family that's like losing these loved ones. So I just hope and I just pray that what I'm doing in awareness of and in honor of my cousin's life, I just hope that something comes out of this. And it's true what Lucinda says, like we're having no support from the government. Like when is this going to stop? Like it's just like a continuous thing. Every time there's a child missing, every time there's a child being murdered, like innocent children are being killed. We cried out at the police stations like, you need to pick up this man, he is in danger in the community. But it was like deaf ears. Nothing has happened until the day Stacey was taken away from us. And our community was taken away from something that was so pure and precious, and she was such an awesome, lovable person. The whole school knew her. All the teachers knew her on the school. She was involved in the church, in doing spiritual, musical things in the community as well. But all that is just our family, is like a light that just went dim in the family. But yeah, today we just remember the good things about Stacey, and it's only good things. There's nothing bad I could really talk about my cousin. There's just a little memories that I have from her, like 13 years of her life. And Stacey would have been 53 years old today. 53 years old. And I always sit and wonder, like, what was she going to be? But yeah, that's the story about Stacey-Lee Philander. I will always keep it dear to my heart. I will always let the legacy go on. I will always do good in honor of her. Yeah.
Thank you. You know, this day is also significant that we remember Jessie Hess.
Yes.
Jessie Hess and her grandfather was killed 2 years ago. You know, up until today, the court case really hasn't started for that family. 20 years later, you speak about your family that is still grappling to heal. It's 2 years for Jessie Hess and her family, which lost a beloved daughter, but the grandfather at the same time. The injustice of our justice system that has postponed this case to 2022. When is it going to end? How is it going to end?
Even there was another story that also popped up this morning. The Down syndrome boy that was murdered a year ago.
Alderado Park.
Yes. today it's a year ago that way past was also shot by a policeman. You don't hear nothing about these stories anymore. Like,
Yeah.
we need to make awareness, make people remember like what is going on is not right, and things need to, the justice system is just,
Yeah. It's awful. Thank you. And we remember Stacey together with you, and her light will continue to shine. Thank you for what you're doing for us on this memorable day, on this painful day. It's a painful day. You give us hope not to stop and to continue with what we do. Thank you very much.
Stacey's mother actually called me this morning. I forgot to tell you that she sends all her love, and she's very, she gives thanks to you for what you do in the communities. She knows that you don't only work in your community, she knows you go out there and you help others. And today is a very bittersweet day for her, she said. She was crying on the phone. She said, I promise myself I'm not going to cry today. But just because what you're doing for Stacey, like putting her name out there, she's just like, she never knew to, she always thought like, you know what, Stacey's gone, that's it. But I always hold on to this because you think that we're children and we stay children. I was 16 years old, but we grow up. I'm 35 today, and God gave me the grace now in this time for needing to do what I wanted, I always wanted to do. I always wanted to give back in the communities, and especially at school. I wanted always to give back because Stacey loved school. That was the place that she spent most of the time. So she loved that place. And I always said when after Stacey passed away, like, just give me the strength just to do something, just do something. And look, the pandemic made me reach out to that school. And yeah, now we're doing changes. That's what we want to do, right, Wayne?
Absolutely.
Changes.
That's right.